approach, Cherokee 631, Bravo Whiskey. Wonder if we could start descending here. I think I'm going to have to turn around and come back in.
61 Bravo Whiskey, SoCal approach, same intention.
All right, good morning. Got an early start here at Wyman. Gonna take 1 Bravo Whiskey here, fly it over to El Monte for the annual inspection. Got some overcast over there at El Monte. Wyman here is clear. Only a 15-minute flight, but still the weather is different over there. So I filed an IFR flight plan. I'm just gonna depart VFR here and try to pick it up in the air, even though everything's gonna happen really quickly in this congested airspace. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and dial in the ATIS for El Monte here on the ground at Wyman. I was trying to do everything I can to get ready while I'm here on the ground and things are calm.
61 Bravo Whiskey, Wyman Tower 4 stacks at below 2,500. Runway 12, clear for takeoff.
I thought departing VFR and picking up IFR in the air would be more efficient,
And the airspeed's alive.
since it can take a long time to get a clearance on the ground at Wyman. The skies were clear and I figured I could climb above the layer that was over El Monte. But things didn't go exactly as planned, as you'll see.
61 Bravo Whiskey, quick change approved, 18-7.
11871 Bravo Whiskey. Burbank Tower, Cherokee 631, Bravo Whiskey, 4 stacks, southbound transition.
61 Bravo Whiskey, Burbank Tower, Burbank Delta number 3009, or radar contact, say altitude.
3009 or 2,000 feet, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Bravo Whiskey, radar contact, and did you want any higher than 2,500?
Yeah, I'd like to go 4,000 just for a little bit, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Bravo Whiskey, roger, and did you want flight following anywhere?
Yeah, I'd like to get flight following. Actually, I wanted to pick up my IFR to El Monte, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Number 1 Bravo Whiskey, roger. In that case, for now, maintain at or below 2,500, and I'll hand you off to TRACON, and you can make that request when you get to them.
Okay, can I climb just up to 3,500 to get above the layer here that I'm coming up on?
Leaving
1 Bravo
altitude.
Whiskey, at or below 4,500 is approved now, and contact SoCal approach 124.6.
At or below 4,500, 124.6, thanks, 1 Bravo Whiskey. Oh, this layer definitely came up a lot sooner than I thought. It was kind of hard to see. It was real haze. It looked like haze. It's hard to see from over there, but we're above it, so we're going to be good.
I was hoping to get handed off to the controller and get a quick clearance for the GPS approach, which is perfectly on the way from Whiteman to El Monte.
SoCal departure, Cherokee 631, Bravo Whiskey is 3,400 climbing 4,500.
61 Bravo Whiskey, SoCal approach, roger. Same intention.
Yeah, I'd like to pick up my IFR into El Monte, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
1 Bravo Whiskey, roger. You can expect out the next controller. Maintain VFR at or above 5,500.
Okay, maintain VFR at or above 5,500, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Left
All right, they're going to send us up to 5,500.
Resume departure for Kills.
We're just going to go direct darts.
28,
All right, let's get the plate up. All right, we're turning on to the initial approach leg here. Hopefully they'll hand us off to the next controller. We can start descending.
ATC had sent me up high, probably due to the minimum vectoring altitude, and pretty soon I was already above the approach course. I had really been hoping to jump right into this approach, but hadn't yet received an IFR clearance and would need to descend.
SoCal approach, Cherokee 631, Bravo Whiskey. Wonder if we could start descending here.
Sir, 1 Bravo Whiskey, if you're looking for IFR into El Monte, sir, contact SoCal approach 125.5.
1255, thanks, 1 Bravo Whiskey. SoCal approach, Cherokee 631, Bravo Whiskey, 5,300, looking to pick up our IFR into El Monte.
1 Bravo Whiskey, SoCal approach on tail altimeter 3009, verify X-ray, and it's on request.
Cherokee 631, Bravo Whiskey has X-ray for El Monte.
Bravo Whiskey, roger.
Yeah, so right now I'm 5,500, which is where they want me, and I'm way above the approach course, so I think I'm going to have to turn around and come back in. Maybe it would have been better to get the IFR clearance from the ground on this short hop, but it just takes so long sometimes, and you have to wait for a long time.
1 Bravo Whiskey, reset transponder spot 5206.
5206, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
1 Bravo Whiskey, expect the VORA off and expect your IFR pickup by Piro.
Okay, the VOR Alpha, and thanks, 1 Bravo Whiskey. All right, change of plans. So he wants us to do the VOR Alpha.
He told me to expect the VOR Alpha approach, which starts way east of the airport. Looking back on this, I think I could have done a much better job letting the first controller know I wanted to fly the GPS approach, even if he ultimately wouldn't be able to make it work.
All right, so let's just get really familiar with this approach. So it's Pomona, fly-in, C-Law, and then CFV-FM is the approach point, and that is in the database here. So I can use the GPS to mark the missed approach point. I don't necessarily have to time it, but I'm going to time it at 2:57 anyway. Initial approach fix elevation at Pomona is between 4 and 6,000. Then we go 3,700, 3,000, then down to 1280. Set my timing.
I had briefed the new approach, passed the airport, and was finally about to get my clearance.
For 1 Bravo Whiskey, turn 20 degrees right, advise ready to copy IFR Clearance.
All right, 20 degrees right. I'm ready to copy the clearance. 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Cherokee 631 Bravo Whiskey is cleared to the El Monte Airport via assigned heading on the rollout. The radar vectors for the VORA Alpha approach, plan a circle, looks like they're showing runway 19er, and you have information X-ray.
Cherokee 631 Bravo Whiskey is cleared to the El Monte Airport. On the rollout, it's going to be radar vectors VOR Alpha circling approach to runway 19er, and I got X-ray. 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, readback correct, set to maintain 4,000.
Down to 4,000, 1 Bravo Whiskey. Oh, we're going down to 4,000.
Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, turn left heading of 030.
Left heading 030, 1 Bravo Whiskey. And it's 110 for
3075 X-ray 1,600 or 2,600. Thank you. Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, turn left heading 350, join the final approach course.
left heading 350, join the final approach course, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
During instrument training, this next clearance was always the most difficult one. Just a lot of information all at once, and it almost always comes as we're turning, descending, or even just starting to enter the clouds.
Turn left heading of 280, about 5 miles from Ceylon, maintain 4,000. Total steps on the final approach course, clear VOR Alpha approach, circle runway 19 El Monte.
It took me a long time to get the hang of this part of IFR flying.
Okay, heading 280 and maintain 4,000 until established, clear for the approach. VOR Alpha to El Monte, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
I made a few mistakes on this approach, as you'll see in a moment. But first, if you're learning IFR or looking to keep IFR current, you'll really enjoy the ongoing series of Multiview, full-length instrument approaches I publish for Patreon members. Patreon is the absolute best way you can keep this channel going, so come join our amazing community of aviators. Patreon.com/SoCalFlyingMonkey. As I was picking up the approach course, for some reason, I got confused about the VOR needle. I was traveling away from the VOR with the final approach course dialed into the HSI. I just completely spaced out if I would need to fly toward the needle or if I would need to drag the needle.
All right, 3,700 after fly-in. We can go down to 3,000.
I think almost all the VOR approaches I've flown recently have the course going towards the VOR.
Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, contact the Monte Tower 121.2.
122, thanks, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
After a moment, I got it squared away, but it was interesting that something basic like that tripped me up, even after having just flown 3 practice approaches the day before. Have you ever spaced on something simple like that? Let me know in the YouTube comments.
El Monte Tower, Cherokee 631 Bravo Whiskey is on the VOR Alpha, just about to cross sea law.
Cherokee 631 Bravo Whiskey, Monte Tower, continue to report the airport in sight.
All right, we'll report airport in sight, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
One Bravo Whiskey, when able, safe flight conditions, reference top.
In IMC, tops 3,000, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Top 300, 3,000, thank you.
We cross sea law, so we can go down to our minimums, which are 1,300. Another 1,400 to go. Now we got 3 miles to the missed approach point. Didn't start that timer. Starting to get ground contact there. And we are starting to break out here.
Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, airport, 12 o'clock, 3 miles, do you have a sight?
Yes, I got the airport in sight, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, roger, would you like to circle east or west of the airport?
Let's circle east of the airport, 1 Bravo Whiskey.
Cherokee 1 Bravo Whiskey, circle east of the airport for left base, runway 19, runway 19, clear to land.
Clear land, left base, runway 19, 1 Bravo Whiskey, and the bases were about 2,100.
Thank you.
I chose east of the airport just because I'm familiar with that the most. It is a little bit of a drop in here, but the 6 really descends well, so I mean we can really slow it down and get down definitely fast. So I'm gonna go full flaps. I'll do my gums check, and we are looking good here. There's the Pappy, we're right on.
Diamond Star 8 Delta Sierra, runway 19, cleared for the option. Runway 19, clear for the option, 8 Delta Sierra.
All right, well, that was definitely interesting. Hopefully this is a smooth annual. Wish me luck.